Hello, this is Randy. Welcome back to Skate for Old School. I thought I'd give you an update on my skate writing journey. I've been writing about every day now, at least every day where the weather is nice. And I tell you what, I've been loving it. This board has been great for me. I really do enjoy it more than I expected. I'm able to ride up hills with ease. I'm able to ride downhill through grass. With a regular skateboard, when you go downhill, you always have to be thinking about how you're going to stop when you get to the bottom of that hill. It makes a big difference to have brakes. So I go down a lot of hills that I would never even think about going down with a regular skateboard. Now, despite all this, I've decided to build a second board. And with this second board, I got a few goals in mind. First of all, I'm going to be a little bit more cost conscious when building this second board, but I'm going to try to do that without sacrificing quality. And there's some few things I'm going to try. One of the things I love about my current board are these wheels. These wheels are 120 millimeters, which is much bigger than any skateboard wheel I've ever used in the past, and they've been fantastic. If I was building my very first board again, I would definitely get these wheels again. But since I've had so much success with these wheels, being that they're so big, I'm going to go with an even bigger set of wheels for the next build. Inboards is now offering these 150 millimeter all-terrain mountain board wheels. These things look outstanding. And the other wheels that I got, I also got from Inboards. And the reason why I like ordering wheels from Inboards is because I know that I can also get the wheel pulleys that are compatible with the wheels. Now, for those that are more experienced than me, that might not be enough of an excuse, but it gives me a level of comfort of knowing that my parts and my components are going to work together properly. So this is the board that I purchased for my first build. As you can see, it's a mountain board. I bought it primarily because I was curious about mountain boarding in general. I naively expected that the trucks here were normal skateboard trucks and the wheels were normal skateboard wheels. However, these trucks are bigger than the normal skateboard trucks, which perhaps is necessary for mountain boarding. The axle on the wheel is a wider diameter than a normal skateboard wheel. I tried it out as a mountain board and did not really like the experience. Nevertheless, I still like this board a lot. It's a very strong board. It's made to hold up to 440 pounds, which is plenty for me. And I like the shape of the board. And I figured I wanted big wheels, and I knew that this board was already configured to work out well with big wheels. So I didn't have any concern about having wheel bite with using these wheels. I also like that this board comes with the straps on it already, which turned out to be quite handy. However, for my next build, I'm not going to be using this board. This is probably an area where I can save the most compared to my previous build. So I'm using this for my new board. This board is significantly less expensive. Of course, it doesn't include the wheels and the trucks that I don't need. I'm getting it all black with black grip tape as well. And I like the shape of it. I think it's going to work out nicely. So for my new motors, I'm going to try out these Hobby Sky 6384 motors. This is a little bit of a risk because I don't really know that the truck is going to be big enough to hold these two motors along with the motor mount and the whole configuration. I think it'll be fine, but it is a little bit of a risk since this is such a big motor. The motor is 4,600 watts, which is significantly more powerful than my current motor, so I'm real curious to see how this works out. It sounds like it could be awesome. I don't quite understand how this motor is listed as 150 kV, 170 kV, 190 kV. Which is it? I don't quite understand that. Either of those figures is fine with me. Generally, the lower the kV value, the higher the torque, which is what I really want. The lower the kV value, the higher the torque, but the slower the motor. The higher the kV value, the torque is lower, but the speed is greater. I don't have any issues with speed on my skateboard, so I would prefer the lower torque and more pulling power on the heels. So 6384 sounds awesome. I hope this is a good motor, but at $40 per motor, that just sounds like a great buy to me, so I'm going to give them a try. This is the vest that I'm using on my current skateboard build, and I need to emphasize that I have no issues with this vest. I love it. I bought it because of its small size, and it has done wonderful. I got zero complaints about this vest. However, for this new build, I'm going to be placing the vest on the underside of the board. The positioning of the wires for the battery on this vest is not quite ideal for what I'm trying to do. So instead of this vest, I'm going with this vest, which is really the same thing but with a different wiring configuration. This vest is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger physically. It still handles 200 amps just like the previous vest, and it's about 10 bucks cheaper than the previous one. The configuration of the wires on this vest are ideal for the way I'm planning this new skateboard build. So this is the vest that I'm going with. Now, in addition to this vest, I'm going with this for my battery box. Now, this battery box I'm particularly excited about because it's the perfect size to hold my batteries, and it's nice and clean. And notice that it has this lip on the side. I can screw this battery box directly into the board. It's just going to have a nice clean look. It's much smaller than my current battery box, which is probably the ugliest component on my current build. Not probably, it's definitely the ugliest component on my current build. But this one's going to be nice and sleek. I'm going to put the power button on it, just like the other one. And I'm also going to put the battery indicator right on this box as well. So it's going to hopefully look really nice when it's done. So I'm really excited about that. So most of the rest of the details on the new build will be very similar to my current build. I'm going to be using caliber 2 trucks once again. Again, I'm going to be using the same motor mounts that I talked about before. I'm probably going to mount the motors to the back side of the board once again, although I haven't quite decided on that. Since the vest is going to be on the underside of the board, there probably is no harm in mounting the motors to the underside of the board as well, so that they're closer to the vest, and the wiring between the vest and the motors would be quite easy. Plus, there's going to be an enclosure around the vest. That enclosure is going to provide a certain amount of cover for those motors if I tuck them underneath. Given that some serious thought to doing that. So the battery box is going to be here in the middle, and instead of the wire coming off of the top of the box to go to the vest, obviously if the vest is going to be underneath the board, it would make more sense to drill a hole in the board, and I'm going to take the wire underneath the board to the vest, and that'll be much cleaner than what you see in this current configuration. Now, these foot straps I haven't quite decided on. In my mind, I'm thinking it would be nice to have a nice clean looking board without the foot straps on it. However, the foot straps come in handy when I need to kick this board around for turns that I can't make that are too sharp for a long board. I'll probably try the board out without foot straps and just see what I think about the experience, and then decide later whether or not I want to put foot straps on. So the new build in total will be very different from this build, but a lot of what I learned from this build will be incorporated in that new build. Really looking forward to it. I thought about making modifications to this board directly, but I enjoy riding this board so much it would upset me to be without it for a week because I screwed something up. To some extent, I feel like I kind of got lucky. I mean, putting this board together, there are so many things that can go wrong. I just had a lot of things that worked out right. Now, I did run into some problems that I eventually resolved. There could have been so many more things that went wrong. Everything worked out quite nicely. I've been learning how to ride. I ride significantly better. I think I ride significantly better than what my videos show. However, in my last attempt to do the sidewalk game, I'm afraid it's not a whole lot better than my previous attempt at the sidewalk game. Nevertheless, I like playing the game because it's forcing me to learn to skate better. As much as it pains me, yeah, I actually took a worse fall in this attempt at the game than the last one. So you'll see that. I'll share that with you now, and I hope you like it. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Hi YouTube. So this is my second attempt at the sidewalk challenge. Um, I haven't been too motivated to do the sidewalk challenge because it's so much funner, so much more fun to ride in the streets. This sidewalk is a little bit more challenging, and I just haven't been motivated to do it. But I got to redeem myself. I did so poorly the first time. I got to do better this time. So let's see how it goes. Oh gosh. Of all the dumb luck, I actually hit the sprinkler hose. Can't believe that was sticking up out the ground like that. Yeah, this game is just not doing me any justice. All right, let's be unhindered and continue with the original plan. Cell phone taking a beating. All right. All right, here we go. Backwards here. I don't know why my board is struggling. It's a little bit of an uphill, but it's not significantly greater than other uphills I can handle just easily. Yes, I stepped off because I don't want to go through water to get to this other side. A little grass action. So about 25 minutes, and hopefully a better score than last time. See you next time.